Welcome back to our coverage. Here's a look at windswept rain near the Concord Mall in Delaware, just off of a 202 and Namens Road. In the last hour, this storm sparked tornado warnings across Newcastle County in Delaware. Many of you in that area are contacting me through our Facebook page and saying most of it has moved out now, but it got pretty dicey there, as well as Chester and Delaware counties in Pennsylvania. This scene was evident as well. The tornado warnings, once again, have since expired, but the weather conditions have not changed much. Now, new video as we look across the area. Got a lot of rain pounding the Girard Point Bridge as the wind shakes the camera there. Our camera on the Ben Franklin Bridge shows the dark clouds, very dark clouds, moving towards Camden. At one point, this system was moving, I think I remember Bill saying, about 40, 50 miles an hour, while our cameras here at the station at the Free Library show all that rain hammering the region. Gentlemen, take it from here, because we're not out of the woods yet, far from it. You said we're in that like 8 to 10 o'clock time period where it may end?
Yeah, and I think by that time, the severe threat is likely long gone, which is great. Speaking of that, so we're back with our severe weather map here, kind of the overall setting the stage, and we do have the severe thunderstorm watch that's up until 9 o'clock tonight, but we don't have any orange on in our area right now.
Right, and
with the exception of what we're tracking down here.
Right, but I mean, I want to point out, Lancaster County, which is west of the Philadelphia viewing area, trimmed out of the watch.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think that shows you that while we still have storms in the region, still raining heavy, and we've got that severe storm into southern Delaware, moving across the bay, Cape May, Bill will show you here in a second, watch out. But once I think the bulk of these storms move through that we have over the next hour or so, probably the severe threat is done. Like you said, 8 to 9.
8 to 9. The only thing I'm watching, notice like you said, the watches are tailored off. That's the pink shade. But there are a couple of warnings that we want to keep our eye on. Now, granted, like Grant mentioned earlier, we still have another 2 hours until the sun goes down, a little less than 2 hours. So there's still some energy out there now. But by the time where the warnings are out near Williamsport, for example, by the time that gets here, it will be later enough in the day, coupled with the fact that we have the weather that came through today to take some of the energy out of the atmosphere, that I'd be a little surprised if those storms held together enough to be classified as severe. Maybe some stronger storms, maybe some heavy rain, that type of thing. You mentioned a couple things I want to show you. You mentioned the one down near Cape May. We're monitoring the storms, okay? So first, let me just put the radar on. I'm going to put the loop on. This one down here that's warned, increasing a little bit in its strength, it appears, evident by the number of lightning emblems that we see, and just simply the colors as it's building. We can go in and cross-section and sample it if we want to. But what are your thoughts on this being warned, extending over to Cape May?
Couple of things here. It's moving over some cold water. So we saw this yesterday with the one severe thunderstorm warning that we had. It moved over the Delaware Bay. That air is not as unstable. It doesn't have as much of that heat, producing that lift.
What's the bay with these days? About 70?
It's about 70. Okay. Yeah, that's what the waters are out there right now. And so as that storm moves across, it looks like it's strengthening. You know, even though the water is cool, the air above it has been untouched, I guess we could say. So there's still some instability available for that storm, and it's probably kind of feeding off of that. It's going, oh, well, there's nothing north because that rain has worked over that atmosphere, and you've got that severe potential right there. Moving to the east, a lot of these cells moving around 40, 45 miles per hour. So, you know, there's your timing on it. Cape May.
Well, you got another 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that,
So I think, I mean, same threats, right? Damaging winds, a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall. We're not seeing the rotation in these storms that we were earlier, that we had that tornado warning issue.
Right, which is great, of course.
But, I mean, nonetheless, it's still going to at least bring that potential for some damage.
I want to show you this camera here. This is from Margate, and we're looking kind of to the south on this one. And so we're looking, it'll pop up here in just a moment. There it is. And so we're looking toward that cell. You can see the beach there closer to Grant. We're kind of looking to the southwest. So that darker sky, that's the part of that storm that we're looking at.
Yeah, right.
To the south.
Here. Which behind it is just overcast skies.
Yeah, and then overhead here, you see this dark that we see right above the camera. Essentially, I'm going to pull this back off, and let me go up to Margate, and there's what we're looking at. Kind of what you saw in the distance is this right here. But I want to take a moment. We talked about how, you just mentioned earlier, how the energy that's available, it's called CAPE, it's not as strong now as it was. So if we take this out, what we were looking at, and I want to show you, We're going to take this. I'm going to just manually drive it. This is where it is right now, and we're looking at the lightning specifically. Let's take you back. We're talking about that storm that we are covering with a tornado like this right here.
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah, talk about that.
Right. So this one right here. All this area out ahead of it was really primed, heat of the day atmosphere. You're looking at probably some of the highest instability that this area has seen, certainly all summer.
Yeah.
I mean, technically summer begins tomorrow, but
sure.
The point of it is that this was the initial storm that was really tapping into the most unstable part of the atmosphere, and it was charged a lot of electricity. This is where we're getting a lot of the damage reports, as some of these storms up here producing some damage as well. So these storms were feeding into a very unstable atmosphere, which has weakened quite a bit as it's moved into Jersey.
Yeah, which is great news. And I haven't seen any hail reports, but we were sampling out of this one, doing a cross section, had a clear hail signature. We are sampling maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inch diameter, so it'll be interesting to see if any of that verifies. But we got, just to round it on out for you, if we go to the radar right now, you can see that it is bright, it's heavy rain. We do have some areas of lightning, but at this moment, Yuki, we have no active severe thunderstorm warnings in our area. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 9 o'clock tonight.
Boy, that's good to hear. Real quick, guys, one of our writers who works in the morning show, lives in Havertown, Delaware County. A tree fell on wires near her home, Ron. And if you can, Ron, I wanted to tell you more about this. The wires fell near on her home, and she's now telling me that everybody's okay. The fire, they started a fire. Her husband called 911. Nobody picked up, so they went to the police station to get help, which they did. The fire's out. Everybody's safe. We want to thank Danny Dolan for that real-time information. Now, you're looking at this information right here. These storms have knocked out power to more than 300,000 customers in the region. Let's give you the very latest on these numbers. PECO reports a little more than 280,000 outages. Delmarva in Delaware reports almost 18,000. PSE&G more than 15,000. And AC Electric down the shore about 2,500. So this thing rolled in and it did its damage, that's for sure. We're going to keep an update on everything right now. Now an update on the situation in East Oak Lane. We now know a child was injured when this tree fell on 11th Street. That child was trapped and had to be rescued. Now that child was rushed to the hospital, we're told. And we're still working to get an update on their condition. But again, a child injured when this tree fell in East Oak Lane. We'll continue to update this on air and online. Wow, ominous clouds in Ocean City. This is from the 14th Street Bridge. The severe weather arriving now down at the shore. Now's the time to take cover if you're in this area. This is pretty wild. Everybody just settle in for the night. We've got your back. We've got your six. We want to take care of you and keep you informed on what's going on around our region. Everything hit probably around just before 6 o'clock tonight, and we've been on it for you, and we will stay on it for you once again on air and online. We thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with more news at 8 o'clock in just about an hour on Philly 57. Take care, family. Be safe. We'll see you tonight.